All right, it's Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. Shadow Traders about to come on. Normally I would hear some music or something. Looks like Peter might be working today. Hopefully he is. Peter's the best, most knowledgeable. Brad is awesome. But Peter is the Jedi Master. He's the Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't hear anything. What's going on? Let's see what it's weird. Let's see what people are saying. Is there no sound? You see that? 16, 16. Okay, so I'm not the only one. No sound. Okay. I'm going to close this out and open it again.
Charts up. Hello. All right, what's up? Audio is on. What's up? I'm back. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty here.
Nice.
All right, sound is good. What's up? Thank you, Scooter. All right, cool. There are. Yeah, Mark, Nicole, Nancy, and Stuart, Florida. All right, so sorry about that. I got to tell you, man, these freaking viruses and hackers and all that other stuff, they're really annoying, should be beaten like a rented mule. Those people that are always putting those viruses out there and attacking systems. Anyway, welcome to Tuesday, the 16th, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a nice, long 3-day weekend. Futures, of course, at it again, right? So we're at new all-time highs, of course, in the overnight. So right out of the gate, we're thinking that the market's probably not done going up. You know, late day on Friday, we had a massive rally, short squeeze into the end of the day, and we closed way up near the high. Friday's high was 39.35, and the sell was 34.5, just 2 ticks below that. And of course, when futures reopened Sunday night on the 14th, and then of course, even though the market was closed, we did have a trading session on Monday, President's Day. The market, of course, hit new highs and then again hit new highs again between Monday night and into Tuesday morning. And as you can see very clearly here, 39.59 quarter is the all-time high in the overnight. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are making new all-time highs. So another record-setting day. It just wouldn't be the same unless we hit new all-time highs every single day. And, you know, for those who are relatively new, this is something like I've never seen before, ever, even from .com and the financial crisis, real estate bubble in 2008, 2009. I mean, this tops that tenfold. And, of course, we know why. You know, the Fed, all the monetary easing and quantitative easing and trillions of dollars thrown at this market, the wealth gap just continues to explode. So anyway, we have markets at new all-time highs. S&P futures higher by 11, NASDAQ futures up 37, Dow futures up 114. Now, overnight inventory is 100% net long, right? So we are out of balance, but we're already well off the overnight lows. I'm sorry, well off the overnight highs. So that shock and awe, as far as those that have been buying, you know, to the upside, like think about those who were buying on Monday when the market was closed, and even those buying Monday night into Tuesday morning, you know, when Asian markets opened, when European markets opened, traders that were long were buying U.S. futures up up near these highs, like anything over 39.55 and up, well, now they're dead wrong because futures are now 42. Now, not everybody is wrong, but I'm just saying the shock and awe and the high probability for a fade trade has kind of come off the table. Meaning if we went up and up and up and up and up, right? So suppose, we're up here near the overnight high and overnight inventory is still 100% net long. Well, then it's a very easy, look above and fail from the overnight high, or if we can't even take out the overnight high, it's a short below the 1 minute low. Okay, now again, that scenario obviously is not taking place because as the market.
See what people are saying. Lost center. Other people on it. Okay, somebody says it sounds good on mobile, so switch to mobile. That's good. Not hearing anything on mobile. It's a typical Monday morning. Yeah, nothing on mobile. I don't think a refresh is necessary because there's nothing spinning here, there's nothing spinning here, and everybody, audio's spotty on mobile as well. Somebody said, where's Scooter? Scooter can do anything about it. So, lost mobile. You guys get around too much. Stop those. Alright, I'm just gonna close this and try to open it again. But yeah, this is no big deal.
Sound is back. Hello.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to. I'm back. All right. Sorry, I had to restart again. My apologies. Again, we had some virus attacks, and over the weekend, I guess. Anyway, so as I was saying, folks, we're coming out of a 5-day balance where literally 4 out of the 5 days, the close were identical And then, of course, we had the late day short squeeze on Friday. So, again, what I'm really concentrating on is can we stay outside of prior day's high? Again, the shock and awe for a pullback from the overnight high is already gone. But do we stay outside of 39.35, number one? And then number two, the spike rules are in play where we essentially have single prints all the way down to 39.20. So from 39.20 to, Friday's high, which is 39.35, this is all what's called a spike. All right, so number one, obviously, any balance or any market that stays up here is bullish. Even if we stay in the spike, right, which is here. All right, good, thank you, Scooter. If we stay in the spike, which is here, it's still very bullish. Even if we went back into the prior day's range, ladies and gentlemen, that means we're kind of back in balance. So the top end of balance is, the high of that last week is 39.35. Most of the value, though, is from 20 to 38.90. All right, so again, I want you to think about this, folks. We have a 5-day balance where the value is 39.20 to 38.90. All right, and again, that's kind of looking at the value area and squishing it all together. If I converge the last week into one day, the value area is 39.20 to 38.90. It's about a 30-point range. So remember with balance rules, right? You look above and go, you look above and fail, you stay in balance, or you look below and go, or you look below and fail and go back into balance. So the most bearish scenario would really only be, we take out Friday's high, we take out the single prints at 39.20, we go back into balance, and then we take out 38.90. Now, again, that's a big if. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but for the bears to get some kind of reprieve, I guess, if you will, or some kind of hope, because right now it's still hopeless for the Bears. I mean, I've been saying this for months and years. The Bears don't have a shot. I mean, the game is so dialed into the upside that nothing else matters. I mean, literally, COVID, the quantitative easing, which, of course, we're still banking on. But in any event, we still have up, and away. So can we stay above 39.35? If not, the downside target is going to be 20, and value area high is around 19.25 anyway, right? So this is going to be more of a downside target down here. Upside target, by the way, we're already well above. I mean, I was looking at right around 39.45-ish, and we're already well above that. To the downside, 10 to 15 would be my downside target. The pivot, by the way, is 21.50. 39.2150 is a shadow trader pivot. And then last but not least, on the NASDAQ, by the way, the pivot is 13,753 half. $13,753 is a shadow trader pivot. My anticipated resistance was somewhere up around 870 to 875. Which were already, above. We were above, but now we're back below. And then downside target would be somewhere around 13,700 to 13,710. All right. So anyway, we're well above the pivots. We're above the VWAPs. And again, you really want to be paying attention to, do we fall into the prior day's range? And then, of course, if we do fall into the prior day's range, that next target obviously is going to be value area high and the bottom of the single prints. All right. So real quick, some stocks on the move. By the way, bonds, long bonds down a full point. So we got price down, we got yield up. And then we have, of course, the monster Bitcoin hit 51,000. Bitcoin hit 51,000 in the overnight session. Went up over 51K. So the usual stocks, the Riot blockchains, the stock has popped. RIOT went up over $58. The Mara also higher, and MicroStrategy is also higher. Of course, Tesla, which bought Bitcoin recently, that stock is up a little bit. So we got gaps across the board. A lot of different things. And then CLGX Scooter told me there was some M&A activity between CLGX and CSGP. Not really familiar with that company, but in any event, here we go. Welcome to Tuesday, the 16th. And again, my apologies for the sound issues. So right now we open out of balance. Overnight inventory is still 100% net long, but we're well off the overnight highs. So we just opened at 39.43. By the way, I apologize. The 20 to 50 period MAs and the VWAPs are all above. The NASDAQ or the S&P VWAP is at 39.49, and the NASDAQ VWAP is at 13,868. NASDAQ back to the long side. NASDAQ opened at 835.75. So as long as the NASDAQ stays above 835.75, remember the downside target could be 700 to 710, 13,700, 710. Upside resistance was at 870 to 75, which we're already below. But for the NQs, those are aggressive. Just use this open as your line in the sand. As you can see now, we're cranking to the upside here. NASDAQ, I mean, all top line figures are gapping up, of course. And the important thing is going to be whether we hold the gap, do we go lower into the spike? Even if we did, it's still bullish. Even back into balance below 39.20. All right, NASDAQ is now shifting back to the downside. S&P shifting back to the downside now. Again, this is going to be choppy this morning, folks. Remember, we're already well off the overnight high. That shock and awe has already kind of come out of the market, for those who are long. Obviously, if anyone's still long in the overnight, they're waiting for that next group of traders to push it higher. Obviously, the shorts want to get it lower. Those that feel the market is a little bit, let's say, extended.
Sound again. No sound again. Dude, what's going on with you? It looks like you're late to the party again. Flush, flush, flush. Little text on. Okay.
Just twice. Okay. What is it?
Oh, nice. Praise the Lord. Anybody's still talking about sound over getting their fills. People say they're getting their fills. You need multiple brokers. That's right. Digging ES and digging NASDAQ. The Dow amongst these three has shown the most relative strength. So you can see it's up 0.32. The others are up 0.18, 0.12. dangerous. Push, push, push right there. There you go.
Mission closed.
Alright, just chill out for a little bit. Sheesh. Dangerous. We're gonna throw it around. Watch this dude, Chunky Lover, what he said. That's funny.
Anyway, I was saying earlier, folks, NASDAQ went back long above 835. Of course, hopefully some people heard me, but bias shifted back to the long side above 835 in the NASDAQ. S&P futures are now back above the open at 43, so we are balancing here and no sellers present. There was a little bit of a pullback. Obviously, S&P futures went to 35.75. NASDAQ futures also pulled back, but then rallied back to the upside. So bias right back to the upside in the NQs. As I was mentioning, use these opening levels prints as your bias, either long or short, and they're very helpful. So again, I was saying long back over at 835 in the NQs. There's now about 20 points there. If you have it, just move your stop up. S&P futures trying to get back above 43 and stay there, but the point is it's still bullish. The gap is holding so far. The NASDAQ's looking better than the S&P futures. And one of the reasons being, of course, semiconductors yet again hitting new all-time highs, right? This is every single day the semiconductors just hit new all-time highs. Of course, the Dow Jones Industrial Average breaking the new all-time highs, the S&P breaking the new all-time highs, same with the NASDAQ Composite, same with the NDX, of course. And the only one that hasn't so far is the Russell. But, of course, very, very close. This has just been bull flagging underneath these all-time highs. So the game is still higher, folks. The game is still higher. Again, if you're long NASDAQ, they just pulled it back about 5, 6, 7 points. But again, if you have NASDAQ back through the open, lock in at least 10 points, folks, from 35 to 45 or even up to 50. You know, lock in like 15 points in the NASDAQ. JCOM absolutely flying. JD also strong this morning. Baidu hitting some new highs. So a lot of these Chinese internet plays are up with the exception of NetEase. Even Baba popped. Jack Ma apparently has been working on his golf game, so he's okay. Anyway, spiders, obviously, folks, big gap to the upside. We're, above the open. We're well above so far today's low. We're so far above the 20, can't even see it. So still very, very bullish. And Q's also very, very bullish. Again, NASDAQ, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely awesome move back through the open. And now there's 25 points easy here. There were about 30. Remember that upper target here is around 70 to 75, which of course we already hit. You know, the overnight NASDAQ went all the way up to 13,900. And S&P futures just kind of playing around now at the open at 43. Anyway, NASDAQ, of course, the standout big winner so far this morning. Semiconductors just ripping. Let's see there. So they're pulling it back a little bit. Let's see if we take out 48. 48 is kind of a key level I'm watching in the NQs. NASDAQ VWAP, by the way, is right here at 855. S&P futures VWAP's a little bit above at 46. 39.46 is the VWAP. 20 period MA, of course, is also up here. 50 period MA is up here. Anyway, yeah, market's higher and the VIX is up as well. Isn't that interesting? VIX, VXX, VIX futures all higher. once again, remember I was saying on Friday they were killing the VIX, just absolutely destroying it. Anyway, crude is up 57 cents. Gold, let's take a peek at gold. Made some money on gold last week. Wasn't huge, but anyway, we're almost back to that low, last week's low. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I apologize. It was the low on the 4th of February. So there should be kind of a row trade right in right out in gold. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Yeah, I was going to hold gold ahead of the 3-day weekend, but obviously I said it only if it closed strong, and it didn't. So I was able to make almost 3 points on gold, but multiple contracts. So it wasn't just a one piece. I added to it. At one point, I was up, oh gosh, almost 20 points. But anyway, gold is just getting smoked. And the Dixie, trying to lift a little bit. So the Dixie has been a mess.
Really, James.
Anyway, gold on this chart, you can see on the 30-day hourly chart, you got some lows down here right around 84-ish. So the low is 84.60. So I'll put one order at 85 and one at 84. So that way, if it does take out the low by a little bit, it should catch some. And then what I'll do is if I get filled, I'll put my stop basically probably 2 points max. That's about it. About 2 points max. Again, this is going to be kind of a row trade in gold. But I mean, they're just absolutely smoking gold. Started really selling hard at 6 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, that's right. The VIX on a flat market declines on Friday to account for the non-trading days over the weekend, and back up on, Monday was a holiday as well. So the VIX is readjusting back to the upside. Anyway, great. The NASDAQ held 48. So NASDAQ, that pullback only went to 49.75. So if you're still long NQs, you're in great shape. S&P futures back above the open here. Anyway, gold, like I said, I have an order at 85 and 84. Anyway, NASDAQ looking real good here.
No, it's not.
NASDAQ looking great.
No, it's
So the 48 held, that pullback was to 49.75. Anyone that's long of NASDAQ, you can put your stop right below the 20, which is around 53 quarters. So 53. Now it's kind of tight, but it's all right. From that 35, back above the open long is still a good trade. Anyway, also, if you're just joining us, Bitcoin went over 51,000. So your micro strategies, Riot, blockchain, just absolutely exploded today. Mara holding a big gap, BTBT holding a gap. And then, of course, the semiconductors, one of the reasons NASDAQ is so strong, semiconductors hitting yet another new all-time high. All right, you should be selling some NASDAQ at 53. Anyway, 10 o'clock reversal, just about 3 minutes.
all right, Brad. We're gonna wrap it up with you, dude. Thank you. It's been
NASDAQ VWAP, by the way, is at 855. S&P futures VWAP is up above at 46.